RBS Chief Howard Davies told Sky News that if the government does not provide details on a Brexit trade deal by the first quarter of next year, then the number of people moving out of London will accelerate. There are fears that London will lose thousands of banking jobs and 20,000 positions in financial services, with £2 trillion of assets moved out of the country. Mr. Davies said that politicians should stop messing around, otherwise thousands of people will leave London's financial markets and head for Europe. Despite London being classed as the top financial centre in the world last month, speaking to BBC News, Mr. Bick called the RBS chief's view very sensible, but hit back at his claims that over 100,000 people will leave London. Sky BBC David Bick said the UBS chief had his tongue protruding slightly from his cheek. Mr. Bick said, personally speaking, I think he's got his tongue slightly protruding through his cheek. You cannot actually shift 100,000 people from one centre around Europe if you don't have infrastructure to do it. Some will leave, and there will be thousands. Very small numbers have already relocated, but Mr. Bick slammed the Brexit negotiations and said that arguments attempting to agree on a divorce bill are damaging to any progress of trade talks. Mr. Bick, a market commentator for Panmure Gordon, said that a transition period of 2 years is absolutely fundamental in order to avoid banks having to trigger their contingency plans. He said, "We want leadership. We need leadership. We need to get this deal done, and we need to get it done in a friendly manner and not in a hostile way." RBS chief Mr. Davies also said that financial activity would spread out throughout Europe, with the UK likely to lose its status as a capital for banking. Some of the largest global banks in London are planning to move jobs to outside of the UK, with Frankfurt and Dublin thought to be a popular city to host the banks within Europe.